Welcome to Regan's Corner. We got a special guest here, Grace, track and field sophomore star coming in for you with Claire. How you doing and how is it popping?
I'm doing good. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, when did you start in sports?
Uh, you know, I started competing and participating in sports when I was probably 4. It all started with like ballet when I was super little. My parents put me in that. But I actually didn't start track until 6th grade, like AAU track wasn't a big thing like around where we're from. So I started in 6th grade, middle school, and it kind of just went from there.
Absolutely. So, doing all the sports that you've done, softball, track and field, volleyball, a little bit of basketball as well. And you said ballet as well. So, when did you know that track was kind of your thing and kind of going to set you off in a path with a possible scholarship from Grace or other colleges that were offering you?
Yeah, so 6th
There you
grade,
go.
I kind of just did it because all my friends did it. I found interest in it. Um, and one of my coaches asked me to try high jump. You have everybody go around each event every day and everybody kind of tries everything. And I was really unsure at first. I didn't think I could do it, but after a few tries, I really enjoyed it. And then, so 6th and 7th grade, it was really just developmental. I didn't really know what I was doing. And then 8th grade is when it really like took off for me. I began watching like a whole bunch of film. I asked for input, like I wanted to be very good. And I was clearing 5.2 my 8th grade year. So one of the old coaches, one of the high school coaches at the time, she had called me down to the office. She was like, Claire, like, I want to talk to you. There's these colleges that these girls are jumping about 5.2. Like, you're already there, Like, you just have to keep going, stay on this path. Like, you're good. And, I never thought anything of it, but I was like, wow, like, I'm jumping about the average of like what some college girls are jumping. And so from there, like, all my high school years, like I really just wanted to develop and be the best that I could be. So I trained pretty hard.
Absolutely. So, did the other sports kind of help you with kind of self care? Because with athletes nowadays, it's one sport, and they kind of think about college, this, that. Especially where we come from in small high schools like Washington Township, like a Hebron, like a South Central, like a Boone, like Regan Township,
Yeah.
all PCC schools today. But um, kind of going through all that, did it kind of help you knowing that you had different sports seasons to go to?
Yeah, especially because Washington, we don't have an indoor season. We only have an outdoor season. So I had
There
never
you
even
go.
seen an indoor facility before. But I would say volleyball was a big one. It helped me with plyometrics like no other, And that training season was very like detrimental to me. And I think especially because in my own specific training, I never really worked a lot of plyometrics. Like I didn't understand the importance of it. I was more of like a strength and power building type training. So playing volleyball in that fall season and then having the winter to build strength on that, it really helped my spring season for track.
Absolutely. And that's a fun fact that Washington Township doesn't have indoor because you see other PCC schools like South Central have indoor seasons. Um, so, what are your thoughts about the possible outdoor seasons and then the kind of goals that you have coming up with Grace after kind of rehab and all that?
Yeah, so with my injury, with my labral tear being only
There you
4 weeks
go.
out from surgery, I have 2 more weeks of crutches, and then from there, it's a very slow progression. It's similar to an ACL tear, maybe even a little bit longer. So our indoor season for Grace starts in January and it runs until March. So, I've been pretty optimistic. I'd love to come back for it, but I have a feeling that I'm going to have to redshirt my indoor season. But outdoor season starts in March, so I'm hoping that with my rehab and with all um, the people that are working with me, my trainer, all of my physical therapists at home and at Grace. I'm hoping I'll be able to get back for March for our outdoor season.
Absolutely. So, what are some things you're doing for kind of self care during this injury time and kind of taking time for yourself in this process?
Yeah, no matter who you talk to, I feel like you don't truly understand like the mental battle that comes with being injured and having to sit out, Um, I've always enjoyed being active, and training has always been a big thing for me, whether
There
it
you
was
go.
like sports or just doing it for my own like mental health care, something that I enjoy doing. So having to kind of shut all of that down, you really have to hone in on who you are as a person, like spiritually, everything, like what you want out of life, in a sense, because you can't distract yourself by being active all the time, And as of right now, like I'm an athlete, but in this time period, I'm not an athlete. Like there has to be more to me and my identity than wrapping myself in a sport. So really working on that process, working on like what I want for the years to come, and just building character right now. That's been like a big thing.
Absolutely. So, what major are you studying at Grace?
I am pre-exercise science, or I'm exercise science, pre-physical therapy. So I'm actually doing 3 years at Grace to get my bachelor's. So I have two more, and then hopefully going on to get my doctorate somewhere, and that'll take about 3 years as well.
Nice. So, in a way,
There you go.
you never want to get hurt. You don't. But
Yeah.
in a way, you're seeing the process of what you're eventually going to do in kind of a unique way.
Yes. So it is, I think everything happens for a reason. Obviously, I didn't want to come out my first year, my freshman year, and get injured. I didn't want to tear my labrum in my hip, but I think everything does happen for a reason. And I competed a few meets indoor, so I wasn't able to redshirt. We didn't quite know what was wrong at that point, so I just kept going, but I redshirted my outdoor season before we knew what was wrong, so I still have that eligibility. And then with me redshirting next indoor season, I'll have another full year. So potentially my senior year will be a full year, and then my junior year, my outdoor season, and then my freshman year, my indoor season. So I'll have 2 full years of eligibility for when I go get my doctorate. And that has been really nice too to think about, because I could go be a GA somewhere, graduate assistant, and they would help pay for my school as well. So even though it's not what I wanted, maybe it's a blessing, like that I was able to have that opportunity.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Plus, you don't know what's behind the door. I mean, Grace is a great college, a great sports college as well. But you don't know if you ball out in the next 2, 3 years, and then after this laying room and after this injury, and then you go to a bigger Division 2, Division 1 after the fact because you just balled out so good here in the NI whatever.
Yeah, yeah, that's the goal. Yeah, I set big goals my freshman year right off the bat. I wanted to set the school record. I wanted to win conference. I wanted to place in, um, NCCAAs. I wanted to make it to NAIAs. So those were all like big goals for me. And when I didn't accomplish them, it was really hard at first, setting those goals and not understanding like what was really wrong and why I didn't compete the way that I had planned to. And I really think giving myself grace, being patient with myself, that was a big thing too, because not knowing what my injury was, I knew I was in pain, but being an athlete, sometimes I feel like we think it's all in our heads so much. Like, am I really hurt, or do I just need to keep going? So giving myself grace was a huge factor in the whole process.
Absolutely. Absolutely, girl. So, as we kind of go over that and stuff like that, what are some of your superstitions with track, with any sport you've ever done?
Yeah, some people have it where they're like, they have to wear a specific piece of clothing every game, or, they have to listen to the same playlists or all of that. Mine, especially my senior year when I was doing well and I was competing at a good level consistently. Um, I always drank pre-workout right before I would compete, and it was kind of like my thing. I'd eat the same thing every day for lunch. I like to stay consistent in that aspect. I like the way that my body felt by what I ate and what I drank. So, it wasn't really for me like wearing a specific thing or listening to anything, but it was kind of like you get out what you put in. So I was taking care of my body a ton.
Okay, okay. So, a little protein shake before a big game or a track meet, or kind of the chill, kind of get the protein in you kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Cool, 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 cool. Okay, so going back into your high school days, okay, what were some reasons why you picked Grace College in your recruitment process?
Yeah. Grace contacted me in my junior year. And at that point I hadn't even thought about college yet. I hadn't thought about it. I wasn't looking that far ahead. So they were the first school to contact me. I ended up going on a visit pretty early on. My parents encouraged me to. And at first, getting to the campus, I loved it. I loved the people I met. I loved what it looked like. Like the coaches were very nice, but I didn't love it, which was odd to me. I didn't like get there and fall in love with this school right away. Um, so some time went on, and I had thought about Purdue. I thought about not playing sports. There was a school in Pennsylvania that actually reached out to me to play volleyball, and I thought about going there. And I really wasn't sure if I wanted to go that far away from home. So in the end, it kind of was like Grace is the perfect distance to start out. It's only about an hour and a half from my house, hour 15.
Hmm.
And I valued that. I valued being able to come back to family, but I also really honed in on the fact that the team, the coaches, they valued me. They wanted me there. Um, like I probably could have gone to another school to play to another sport, but was I going to be valued there? Was I going to be wanted? And that was a big thing for me too.
I mean, that's one of the most important things in the recruitment process. I've talked to numerous athletes about the process and this and that, and other Washington Township athletes who just went to college, but it wasn't kind of their thing, and because the place that they went to really wasn't that, where it's like a family aspect, and it seems like
Yeah.
that's what you were looking through with your recruitment process.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. So, okay. Other than track, what is your second favorite sport?
Other than track, I'd have to say it's volleyball. That's easy for me. I also played softball in high school, but it was more of just like we had a small team. I was doing it during track season, but it was also helping part of my training as well because I played outfield, so it was the quick movements, back and forth, being able to go for the ball. So track was always my main priority though. So if there was a interference between track and softball, I'd go to track. But yeah,
Okay.
volleyball's it.
Nice, nice. So, what was kind of like time management like with doing two sports in one season?
Oh yeah. Well, um, I was fortunate enough to do half days my senior year. I had all my classes knocked out of the way, so I took about five classes at Washington. So I was only there till about noon each day. So I came home and I would eat lunch and get some of my work knocked out of the way early on. I was also taking courses through IB Tech, my prereqs for Grace, so that I could be ahead. Um, so yeah, it wasn't too bad though, because I only had that twice a day. But just really getting that work done during the day, I found out was extremely helpful because if I just waited until the afternoon or the evening when I was coming
Right.
home and I was wanting to go work out or, spend time with family or maybe go out with friends, like that wasn't an option anymore. So by disciplining myself to get that work done right when I'm coming home, that really helped.
I mean, especially when you're playing two different sports, you're having college courses. That's a lot for anybody. And the way that you managed it didn't kind of go, because a lot of college students, myself included, would go and kind of just wait for the back burner to do.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
you were Johnny on the spot with it. But coming towards kind of your freshman year, stepping on Grace's campus. So you kind of visited a little bit here and there. But what was it like being a student and then that first couple meets before the labor room happened?
Yeah. So, it was difficult. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that I was prepared for what it was going to be like. Grace runs their courses on 7 weeks, so all of the classes that I take are accelerated. So we learn the content for one class in 7 weeks, whereas other people typically learn it in 16 weeks, a full semester. So I take about 3 courses each 7 weeks, which puts me right about like 18 credit hours. And it was a challenge to go through those courses, especially my science courses, because I'm not particularly strong in science. I struggled with chemistry and those courses, but being able to go to track, it was kind of like my freedom of the day. I enjoyed going there. I enjoyed getting off of all of my classes that I had all day and then going to spend time with my team and just taking a break. And then being disciplined after practice to fuel my body correctly and then to jump into those courses.
There you go.
But it was definitely challenging. Nights that I only got 4 hours of sleep, and it's hard work. Being an athlete, I sometimes I feel like people don't understand, but it really is like a full-time job, no matter what level you're at. D1 or, D3 Christians, like the spectrums, like it's all the same. If you want to be good, you train all the same, so the time you put in.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so we're going into the stretch here. We're going to go into our last segment, the hot corner. No puns intended, since this is Regan's corner. Okay, so we're going to ask you quick questions, or questions get to know you a little bit about yourself. Okay, or
Mm-hmm.
us to get to know you a little about yourself. Anyway, so what is your favorite movie of all time?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I have one. Um, I really enjoy the whole Fast and Furious series. I like those movies a lot.
Okay, have you seen the new one?
I have not seen the new one yet. So yeah,
Okay.
I need to get on that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You do. It was okay. It was okay.
Okay.
Um, but let's see here. What is your favorite snack before or after meat?
Before or after a meet? Um, you know, I think it's really important to get that protein in, but it's also important to, treat yourself once in a while.
There you go.
Before me, I would always go to something light. So maybe like yogurt or a banana, something that was going to fuel me but not sit super heavy. And after the meet, I would eat like trail mix with like, M&Ms or ice cream, if I went out with my friends afterwards. But that would definitely be the snacks that I went to.
Okay, okay. So, let's see here. Hmm, 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 hmm. What's your favorite event in track and field?
Well, obviously, my favorite event to do is high jump, but my favorite event to watch, high jump is a fun one to watch. I really enjoy it, but I also really enjoy pole vaults, and I enjoy like the 100-meter hurdles and the 400. Those are also very intense and fun events to watch.
Absolutely. So, what's it like you and your bestie, Olivia Martinez, both being college athletes? So, what was that kind of process like since both of you were getting recruited about the same time with track and field?
Yeah, we didn't discuss it much. Our senior year together was a lot of fun. We were actually like some of the only girls on the team. There was three of us. We had a freshman as well, but she chose softball as her main. The freshman chose softball as her main sport. She played both with me as well. But so Liv and I were like the two only girls that were there for every meet. We had a lot of fun together our senior year, but we never really discussed like recruitment with one another. I was already signed with Grace, and I know she was looking at a couple different places, but we kind of just put that to the side. So we really just focused in on the moment, and I wasn't competing for Grace then. I wasn't competing for what I could do for them then. It was really just myself and developing myself, and I had the most fun with that.
Absolutely. So, welcome to Regan's Corners athletes. You will have
Thank you.
promotion for anything you want on our website or anything like that, shop wise. So, yes. And
Thank you.
have a great day and stay froggy, my friend.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah!